Seeing as you've clicked on this video, I'm going to presume that to some extent you are a whiskey drinker just like me. And today I'm going to go through a few of whiskey's health benefits. Now, big fat disclaimer before I even start. Please do not take this video as me telling you to just go out and drink loads of whiskey. That is not what I'm trying to do at all. Before you make any decisions about alcohol, please do consult medical professionals, people you trust. This is just some interesting information that I've learned, and as a whiskey drinker, I like to hear things like this. But as I say, do your own research and make your own decisions. The first benefit I'm going to talk about is the fact that whiskey actually contains a really decent amount of ellagic acid. Polyphenols are a plant-based antioxidant. They're naturally occurring in things like fruit, and they are really great at absorbing rogue cells in the body. And actually, there's some research to say that they could reduce cancer cells. So actually, whiskey could be reducing your risk of cancer. Polyphenols are also great at reducing bodily inflammation. They can help to combat obesity. They can lower your rate of bad cholesterol and even increase the rate of good cholesterol in your body. They can reduce the rate of heart disease. They can protect your brain function. Polyphenols and ellagic acid have a whole range of great benefits. And if you can get that in your whiskey, it's a good option. For me anyway. Something else interesting about whiskey is that it is naturally carb-free, sugar-free, fat-free and gluten-free. So if you're on a diet and you are looking for a beverage of choice, possibly whiskey could be a really great option for you. Something we're really fond of in the UK is a hot toddy. Now, a hot toddy is a hot beverage. Typically you drink it when you're ill, and it is kind of like a tea. It's got lemon in it, and it always has whiskey. Sometimes people add spices like ginger, clove, things like that, but it always has whiskey. Now, this actually has scientific backing behind it. It's not just that it tastes good and it's hot. Whiskey can temporarily widen your blood vessels, which actually helps to decongest mucus from your system. So this can help with symptoms like wheezing, coughing, mucus, all those horrible cold and flu symptoms that nobody wants. So, you know, if you feel ill, maybe it's worth a try. I mean, whiskey makes me feel better anyway, so always worth a try. In 2003, there was a study released by the National Institute of Health which concluded that adults who drank between 1 to 6 beverages a week actually reduced their risk of developing dementia by 50%. There was another study in 2011, a German study, which actually came to similar results. However, I must point out that in more recent years, the National Institute of Health have come forward to say that there is pretty inconclusive evidence of this, and although that was once the conclusion of their study, now they've found that even a small amount of alcohol could potentially actually damage your brain function. So be very careful what conclusions you draw from that study, but it's pretty interesting to know anyway. Something that's been looked into a lot is the ability for whiskey to reduce your risk of heart failure or heart disease. Now, there have been lots of studies, pretty notably the European Journal of Critical Nutrition, Harvard University and the European Heart Journal. The most interesting study to me was the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition ran a test where they were trying to find out the antioxidant levels in alcohol. They did an experiment with 9 men. They gave them aged single malt whiskey, wine and new make spirit, and they tested the level of antioxidant in the alcohol and its ability to combat heart disease. The results came back and they found that actually the aged single malt had the highest level of antioxidants and therefore was actually the best at reducing the risk of heart disease and heart failure. That doesn't hurt, does it? Quite a few of the people who have lived the longest ever or have broken world records for living the longest have attributed the fact that they have lived so long to alcohol. For example, Grace Jones, she lived until 112. She was one of the world's oldest people, and she said that the secret to her longevity was the fact that she drank whiskey every day for 60 years. Now, I don't know how much scientific backing there is to this, but she did live until 112, so you can take what you want from that. Again, I'm gonna point out please don't take anything I've said in this video as me telling you to just go and drink loads of whiskey. You should definitely only be drinking it in moderation. There are plenty of studies and things to say that drinking too much alcohol is definitely detrimental to your health. So please do be careful. Of course, drink in moderation and be sensible. If you are a whiskey fan, please do make sure to subscribe to Whiskey Raiders. We make loads of content on Scotch, on bourbon, on American whiskey, on Japanese whiskey, Irish whiskey, all of it. And if there's anything specific you would like to see, please do let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear suggestions from you, so let me know. All this whiskey and health chat has made me want a dram, so I'm gonna go and do that, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!